First of all, hi Bernice.
Hi, Brian. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Um, you went recently to a place called Door of Hope to build to make a bunch of bricks. First of all, how did we get involved with Door of Hope?
So, Door of Hope is a charity that, one way or another, most of the South African team have touched base with in the past, and something that we all felt was a good cause. So, we're trying to make sure that we've got a bit more consistency and that we're making more of an impact by sticking to mainly one charity, mainly because we may end up changing, or helping more. But this is one that's got a special place for most of us.
I was going to say, so what does Door of Hope do?
Okay, so Door of Hope originally started with they realized a lot of abandoned babies were being left in toilets on the side of the road and all these horror stories. So what they did was they were an orphanage and they actually cut out a hole in the wall and put like a little mailbox. So what could happen is people would come and put their baby through the hole in the wall, and the sensors would go off to let them know that there's a baby to be collected. So the person abandoning the baby would never have to explain or leave any reason, but that way that these children wouldn't be left in these horrible places where they may potentially die. So that's where they started. They've since got a few more houses that are looking after abandoned babies, and they do adoptions in South Africa and out of South Africa. But what they've recently realized is that um, there are some children that won't be adopted for various other reasons, and they need a place that these children can stay. So they've taken it on themselves to build a village. So they've got a massive piece of land, and actually, it's been designated, so it's a registered township, and they can start building. So what they've done is they are now asking people to help donate money, and the money will be used towards all of the resources to build the house. And they're asking for people to come in and give up some of their time. So that's where we got involved. Is we went around to um, physically build bricks. So taking it from a mold, putting the mold together, preparing it, filling it with the concrete, setting it aside to harden. So obviously, you have to go back multiple times to eventually have enough bricks in order to be able to now build a fully fledged house. They plan to build, I think, if I remember correctly, about 70 properties.
Yeah, that's what you told me.
We,
So good.
yes, and what we did in the space of one day was potentially enough bricks to do one room in one house. So a very long way to go.
Okay, so and what you've told me is that you guys want to go back and you want to keep building more and more bricks and more rooms. So and I think that you have to raise a certain amount of funds so that they can have the materials for the bricks. Um, how what are we looking for as far as trying to fundraise? Because I'm told we're trying to fundraise.
Yes, we're definitely trying to fundraise. So we're encouraging people to put the South African team, family, and friends to hard labor. So if everyone can make some donations, even if it's really small, I think it works out something like $1 equates to the equivalence of one brick. We working in rands, we're looking at 8,000 rand, which is then what we need in order to make it a viable day to turn on the equipment and to actually start making these bricks.
So we can all force you to build a brick if we just give $1.
Correct. So with 300 odd points of rental employees with $1 per person, I'm going to be busy for quite a while.
You can have quite a day out there. Um, so you have already gone on one of these visits to build bricks. What was that like?
It was actually really amazing. We partnered with another company, obviously because both the companies needed to raise this $8,000, so we kind of went half half. And then we didn't have enough staff because South Africa is still relatively small. So partnering with them made it sufficient people. We need about 15 to 20 people hands on a day for the production line to work really well. Very festive, had some music going, just a lot of fun, and really just feeling good. So even though it was hard labor, and I think most people were a bit stiff and sore the next day, Really heartwarming to know that you're making a difference.
Awesome. What else do people need to know about this whole project and how we're working with Door of Hope?
So we would like to be going into Door of Hope probably every 3 months or so. So the target would be to raise 8,000 Rand every 3 months. And the more we can do upfront, the longer it'll kind of sustain us to keep going back. And we will continue to partner with this other company as well. We had lots of fun with them. They were keen to work with us. So it'll make the production line a bit better. I think it's a case of just starting small, start somewhere. And if everyone commit $1 a month, we could very quickly make a massive difference.
I know that we wanted to take this beyond point of rental as well and try to get some of our customers or any of the people that might be listening to this involved. Um, how can they get involved in this project?
So I guess there's multiple ways, and I think as soon as you're talking to a large corporate, they are going to want to do it through the company and probably look at doing their certificates and all the rest. What we would then do is if they can contact me, I will then put them in touch with Dora Hope, and they can handle that all directly. For any individuals doing it, I think every little bit counts, and if we're going to set up a link for it, it can be done through that. Not sure what else I need to let you. Oh, yes. And from a corporate point of view, is even if it's not the company, I think if one or two people in each of our customers is willing to make that small difference, so I think in rands, we're probably looking at about 17 Rand for one brick. It's probably as much as a cup of coffee. That would all start making a difference.
Nice. Are we inviting any customers to in South Africa, particularly, obviously, to come down and help build bricks?
Would absolutely love them to do it.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It sounds like a really interesting project, and I'm glad you guys have taken the initiative and gotten us involved in the whole thing. So thank you.
Awesome. It's going to be quite exciting once more the houses are up and you can actually see like people walking around and this village coming to life. It's going to be really amazing.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining me today, Bernice, and good luck on this project. I hope to see you out there working more.